everybody, and welcome to Rotting Flesh Movie Reviews. I haven't done a review in a long time. This is your host, Billy Pop. Obviously, the format's a little different. I don't have editing software now, so right now I'm just using a microphone. Going to run some clips, mainly trailers or something, and just talk over the whole movie and just explain what I did and didn't like about movies in sort of a podcast form for now, till I get better software. So, hope everyone's doing great out there. Today we will be reviewing a movie I just watched last night called American Mary. I haven't seen it since it came out. She's an artist. That's the tagline here. American Mary is a 2012 Canadian body horror film starring Catherine Isabelle of Ginger Snaps fame and directed by Jen and Sylvia Soska, the Twisted Twins. Just so everybody knows, full spoilers ahead for the most part. This just kind of tells the story of Mary. She's a medical student who was duped by one of her professors into going to a party where she's eventually assaulted very graphically. She decides to take revenge by using her knowledge of surgical procedures to torture her abusers. Through certain plot devices, this eventually leads to her gaining the name Bloody Mary and using this knowledge to perform body modification surgeries on some people in this underground culture. In case you aren't familiar with body modification, there is like a character that has made her entire body, and I think she's actually a real person, she made her entire body look like Betty Boop. And there's another girl who gets like I think this one's just an actress maybe, but she gets her like nipples and stuff removed to look like a doll, a Barbie. So this movie was directed pretty well, and the cinematography is probably the best part. This is the Soska sisters' first semi-mainstream movie, I would say, if you could even call their movies mainstream, and it really is shot well and darkly beautiful. We've got lots of shots of slow motion kind of not exactly stripping. There is some stripping, but the parts with the Mary character where she's covered in blood and things look really well done, and as well as like the lighting and stuff, it kind of has it feels like a 90s movie to me for the most part. The acting is actually a really good time too. Catherine Isabelle is still smoking hot here since Ginger Snaps. I know Toddy Walnuts would disagree because I know he really didn't like the girls in that Ginger Snaps movie. But hey, man, for me it's Canadian bacon. And she pulls the same punches she does in most of her films. Like, she's not an actress with a wide range, but she pulls off evil pretty well. And it's kind of cool that she starts off as a victim and eventually becomes kind of an unlikable villain. The Soska sisters also make a really cool appearance as the Demon Twins of Berlin. Some of the people in the movie are actually part of the real world of body modification, and it shows at times. As I noticed, less acting chops and more just vanity, I want to say. Like, basically these people, in my opinion, like not all of them, seem to be more interested in looking cool than they are making the movie better. They kind of just like make faces and pose, some of them. One guy in particular that had his tongue split was very uncomfortable to watch, I thought. No, I've always been someone who likes to dress comfortably, and I gotta say, none of these surgeries look comfortable. The script was a little bit lackluster. It starts as this kind of rape revenge film. I hope I don't get flagged for that, but eventually transitions into Cronenberg-style body horror. The character of Mary, I think, was supposed to be normal at the beginning and is supposed to change into an anti-hero of sorts, but it seems to me she was just a sociopath who finally was able to indulge in her insanity, so to speak. At least that's how it felt. It seemed very abrupt to go from victim to sociopath, the psychopath, to like completely kind of evil. Anyway, there is also a kind of weird relationship with a strip club owner that she starts her surgeries at, or eventually that's where she does them. I don't know. Where it seems like they both want to smash but never actually do. I think it's supposed to be a love interest, but it never really quite gets there, which is this film's biggest fucking problem. The character arcs feel kind of forced, and nothing really leads anywhere at the end. The end being, honestly, the biggest issue. Is pretty anticlimactic, I thought. Just seemed kind of like, we don't know what to go do from here, which I honestly understand. Didn't really feel that way to me either. But if you get to there is things that happen, but it just doesn't add up to very much in the end. The effects are all organic, which is always welcome in any horror movie. What Mary does to her abuser was fairly graphic and actually gave me a nightmare last night, which is weird because I wouldn't call them nightmares. I kind of look at nightmares more like they're just experiences because I don't really get scared. Shows how desensitized I am, I guess. But I should have had a warm milk before bed, I guess, last night. So yeah, the effects were all well done and were obviously the reason to see this film. I mean, after all, but body horror. Am I right? The music really was nothing to write home about. A lot of edgy 90s industrial sounding stuff that could easily be spliced into movies like The Crow or, I don't know, I want to say Scream, but not really Scream. But that kind of a thing. Kind of industrial, sort of Nine Inch Nails sounding stuff. All in all, fun watch, even though it really goes nowhere and ends kind of like Breaking Bad if Breaking Bad ended badly. But I will say, it was a fun watch, and it was fun to watch Catherine Isabelle. You got to support Canadian horror. I am from Canada, and I honestly think that they pulled it off pretty well. I mean, what can I say? It's not as good as Ginger Snaps. Uh, Personally, I don't think that she'll ever get a role quite that central because she just doesn't have the range. She is a beautiful girl to look at, though, in my opinion. Not, and that's not to say that she isn't enjoyable on screen. She's kind of like Edward Furlong. You get somebody to play themselves. Like she definitely plays sarcastic and stuff. Actually, the first time I seen Catherine Isabelle was on Goosebumps in the episode "It Came from Beneath the Sink." Where she was afraid of a sponge. So, anyway, I just wanted to do a video, and I'm going to do a lot more like this because it's just easy on me. And I hope you guys enjoyed. So, thank you for watching Rotting Flesh movie reviews, guys. I gave this movie a 6 out of 10. I would say give it a watch if you're curious. It's nothing amazing, but you can see its influences, and I think it works for the most part. So. Bye.
That Midget production.